Hey guys, Mike from Buckets here. I am back to continue our little video series regarding notifications. Yesterday, we were talking about the basics of notifications, some of the basic UI elements and functionalities in terms of dismissing notifications, the locks, which is why you saw that alert come up, replying to notifications from within this user interface. And we got into the basic setup of system notifications, which are just general types of actions that you want to be alerted to, either in projects that you're a part of or in cards that you're a part of. Today, as promised, we're going to get into greater detail and go into more advanced features of notifications. And we're going to be putting a lot of emphasis today on the custom notification subscriptions. So let's jump into that section. Custom notifications. So basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to create a 100% custom rule for something that you want to be notified about. And those rules can have multiple aspects put together. So let's go ahead and create an example. I think that's the best way to show you how this works. So let's call this notification title Mike Mentions, okay? And so there's a number of rules that we can choose from. We can decide what project this action needs to take place within. We can select a specific card or cards. We can have the action coming from a specific person. We can have keywords, specific keywords, and then we can also have specific actions, so such as a comment being added to a card, a comment being added to a checklist item. We can choose from any specific action that we want, and we can combine these things together. So, for example, we can say that from the project, let's call it project buckets iteration, I think we're looking, okay, buckets iteration as the project. I want to be alerted to specific things from Andreas. Okay, and I think that maybe it might make sense for these to be comments. So a comment being added to a card, okay? So I've put together, I know this doesn't really match Mike's Mike mentions, I should call this Andreas mentions, and I'll call it buckets. Andreas mentions buckets. So in this scenario, what we've done is we've said we want these comments specific to the buckets iteration project. I want only the stuff that's coming from Andreas, and I'm only concerned with comments from Andreas. So this would be very specific to this type of communication, and I can assign a specific color to it. So in this case, maybe orange. Okay, so we'll go ahead and create that one, and you can see that it's been created right here. At any point, I can toggle it off and on. And getting it back into the idea of the colors here, let's go back into my notifications, and you'll find that I have notifications coming in with different colors, and each of those colors represent different rule sets that these are hitting. And so in yesterday's video, one of the things we talked about is leveraging aspects of our notifications platform to essentially have different tiers of notifications. Notifications can be used to sort of passively see what's going on around you and things that might directly impact you. But there are also times when we need to know that this is an item that needs my immediate attention when I see it. And one of the ways that we can do that is through notification colors. So most of these notification colors are pretty vibrant, we'll call them. A green, an orange, a red. Blue is maybe a little bit more mild, but then purple. All of these can stand out to you and can be trained in your mind to have a specific significance. And I would greatly suggest the usage of that and training your brain to leverage these color codes, and it can really help you without thinking, okay, this is something I need to pay attention to, and this is why I need to pay attention to it. And after a week or two of having that notification type come in, all of a sudden it just becomes second nature. Let's look at another thing that we can do with custom notifications that's kind of relating to ways that we can do it to automate processes in terms of like things that we're being alerted to. In the sort of software development field, one of the common terms that we use for live, something being ready for live, is we might say push it, or we might say ship it is another one. That's actually kind of where I was thinking. My brain got crossed. So I can take a keyword for ship it, and I can put it specifically on the buckets iteration project, and I can give this a purple. Okay, so now every time our QA team says that a new feature is ready to go live, we're going to put a process in place within our team where they're going to leave the comment, ship it, and then I'm going to get a notification. It's going to be represented in purple, and I'm going to know every time I get one of these purple notifications, it's a new feature that's ready to go live that perhaps myself or another manager within the Buckets team needs to sign off on and give the green light that we are ready to push this to live. So you can kind of let your imagination go wild in terms of all the different combinations. The possibilities are really endless, and I can't really go, outline every single thing that you guys could think of, because it kind of covers everything that you could think of in your imagination. And so you can see with the power and flexibility of these custom notifications, you can see why a power user of the platform such as myself might kind of abandon the system notifications because they're a little bit too one-size-fits-all for me, and might go the route of custom notifications so that I know that I am getting, with great specifics, exactly what I'm looking for. So that's one aspect that I wanted to talk about today. And if anyone has questions about setting up custom notifications, please feel free to email us at the support@buckets.co email, or you can just go ahead and start leaving comments within this Facebook group, and I will personally get back to you and look at your specific situation, because I think this is a really important, powerful feature for people to understand. Not quite done going through things, though. There's one other aspect that I want to talk to you with regard to notifications, and again, getting into this idea of how you can tier your notifications and have different levels of escalation. One way being bringing the types of notifications down to something in greater specifics. Another way, doing the color coding that we just talked about with custom notifications. And then lastly, I want to show you guys one more notification setting, which is actually going to be within your account shelf. So the account shelf you can get to by clicking on your avatar in the upper right-hand corner. We're going to go to Settings, and we're going to go to Notification Settings. So notification delivery. This is another layer of notification settings that we can utilize to kind of set certain things to be more important than others. So what this allows us to do is it allows us to tell the system where we want to receive notifications outside of just the notification shelf itself. This will always be here. This is always here, but there are other ways that we can be notified that might really jump out at us even more. Let's get back in here. So one way is mobile push notifications. So if you have the Buckets iOS app, currently we're only on iOS. Trust me, we are working diligently on getting ready to get on the Android platform as well. We'll have news about that sooner than later, so we'll be announcing some stuff on that. But if you're on the iOS platform, you have the option of receiving push notifications like you do on a number of other apps that I'm sure that you guys use. So what we can do here is we can say, I don't really want to receive mobile push notifications, or we can say that I want to receive all the notifications, or we can just say I want to receive just my mentions only. And so as you can see, I have mentions only. And so when I'm on the go, and I don't want to be looking at every single notification as it comes in, what I find is that by having this mentions only turned on, I am creating a higher tier of notification for when I'm on the go, so that I know that when someone says at Mike, hey, need you over here, I'm going to be alerted to it. I can hop in there. I can reply on the go and get back to whatever I'm doing, obviously away from the computer most likely. We also have desktop notifications. And so what desktop notifications are is that when when you receive a notification, you have the option of having it so that there's this little sort of, I don't know, it's little pop window here in the corner. You've probably seen them on a number of your apps on your computer, perhaps. Like if you're a Skype user or a Telegram user or a Slack user, they tend to kind of pop up here with new messages that come in. We have the option of receiving desktop alerts or desktop notifications that look very similar to those. And we can have all of our notifications come in like that, or again, we can just have the mentions. And so here I have mentions only because I want it if I'm working at my computer, and thus I'm not probably staring at my phone, I do want a visual indicator that I am needed. My attention is needed. So I have mentions only. Some other people out there might not want desktop notifications at all, or you can receive all of your notifications coming in up there, which is going to alert you anytime you have a notification. Lastly, we have email notifications. So again, same settings. You can receive all your notifications via email, mentions only or none. I have mentions only turned on because it's another thing, it's another channel that can capture my attention potentially. That's saying like, Mike, you are needed here. And basically all I'm trying to do is make sure that regardless of where I am, if I'm on the go on a mobile device, if I'm lost in my email, if I'm sitting there on my desktop but not closely monitoring notifications as they come in because I'm probably doing something that's keeping me busy, I want to be alerted to this stuff. I do not want to be the blocker that prevents something from proceeding. I want to take care of those things super fast, whereas other types of notifications where I'm not the blocker can be worked through in proper priority. 80 to 90% of them are likely going to be things that I just passively want to take note of. Another 10% of them are probably going to be things where I want to take a deeper look at it, or maybe I have a piece of feedback that might help a task even though I'm not directly being asked for it. And then another 5 to 10% of notifications are something where someone's saying, hey Mike, I need you over here in order to proceed, or hey, I have a specific question, or whatever it may be. And so this is how I leverage our notifications platform to set these tiers. But the beauty of the platform is that you can make it exactly how you want it, and how you want it's not going to be how I want it. And we've set it up that way on purpose. So again, this is a great feature that can really improve your workflow. I would really encourage everyone to give it a try. And please, please, please feel comfortable hopping in our Facebook group or our support channels and asking questions, because I know that the notification stuff can get a little bit hairy because it's got a lot of different features. It's got a lot of ways to customize, and customization is great, but it just does add a layer of complexity. So please ask us any questions that you may have. I hope that this is going to spur some of you guys on to give this a try. So anyways, thanks for watching our video today. We'll be back next week with some new stuff. We have some really exciting things that we're working on that hopefully I'm going to be able to show you next week. So we're working really hard to hopefully get there. So anyways, everyone have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys soon.